Hi and welcome to today's edition of Traders Talks. I'm Kabir Sangha, I'm the Senior Sales Manager of CQR Security, where we manufacture, as well as many other things, cable. And what I'm going to do today for you is explain the difference between CCA, that's copper clad aluminium, and copper cables, and explain the advantages of using copper cable over CCA cable. So firstly, I'd like to point out there was a standard change, BS4737 standard, which was introduced in 2016. The point of this standard was to identify what different types of cable you use. We have CCA cable here, and that is a type 3 cable as per the standard. One of the main reasons that makes it a type 3 cable is its resistance value. So CCA cable per the standard needs to be less than 155 ohms and is more than 100 ohms per kilometre in resistance. Copper cable, that's a type 2 or type 1 depending on the sheathing that is used, but it needs to be less than 100 ohms per kilometre. Why is that important? Well, the reason that it is important is because if you're having a run and you're going to one of your devices and you've got a 100 metre run and you successfully get 100 metres out of your professional cable, with your CCA cable on the same run, typically you'll get around 66 metres, about 33% of the distance. And the reason for that is because of these differences in resistor values. The reason for that difference in resistance is because copper clad aluminium cable is exactly what it says. It is a copper cable which is clad in aluminium, and as you'll be aware, aluminium is a worse conductor of electricity than copper cable, and that provides that greater resistance which takes out your voltage. Another characteristic of CCA cable as a result of being made out of aluminium is that its tensile strength is less. And you'll be aware of a situation when you're pulling cables through the floors and they snap off in your hand. That's far more likely to happen with CCA cable as opposed to copper cable. There is a difference in price. I do appreciate that, I do understand that, and the reason for that difference is because copper is more expensive than aluminium, so it makes sense. However, when our technical team get calls because devices don't work on the end of a wire, the first question we ask is, what cable did you use? And a lot of the time the CCA cable is mentioned, and what the installer then needs to do is either add a power supply. I've heard just 2 days ago that an installer did that, or they have to pay their engineer to go out, pull up all the cables, replace them with the copper cable, and then the system works again. So yes, on the individual reel there is a difference in price. However, if the cable doesn't do what you want it to do, there is a greater difference in price. If you have any more questions on cables and specifically standards, or you want to know more about the differences between CCA and copper cable, feel free to visit our website www.cqr.co.uk, or go into your nearest trader's warehouse branch where the staff will be happy to assist you. My name's Kabir. Thank you for joining us today on today's edition of Traders Talks. See you soon.